Race fans, good evening and welcome to Ghost Racing Network's premier sim racers club for round number 3 live from the Atlanta Motor Speedway, a 1.5 mile cookie cutter racetrack that has the soul and has been reborn as a super speedway here live in prime time tonight. I do want to apologize to everybody for delayed coverage tonight as severe weather rolled through the area. We have successfully restored our internet connection, able to bring you the remainder of this high-action thriller tonight live on Ghost Racing Network. Myself, Matt Metler, up in the GRN broadcast booth tonight as we now resume coverage, 93 laps of the scheduled 120 complete this evening. I want to thank everyone for joining us right here as these guys do battle on the racetrack each and every Tuesday night in prime time. Go ahead and pull up our race information for this evening. Let's go ahead and get that on the main screen so everyone can follow along with us at home tonight. As I mentioned before, this racetrack advertised as a 1.5 mile over. However, official length is 1.52 miles. Temperature, it's a balmy one at 93 degrees, and you expect that here in late summer in Atlanta. They don't call it Hot-Lanta for nothing. 43% relevant humidity under partly cloudy skies. The wind, an elusive 5 miles an hour, will be a non-factor this evening. As we take it out to the front of the field, that 23 machine Veldhusen has been a force to be reckoned with through the majority of this race, now working lap 95 of 120. However, you can see that 18 machine of Morris locked right there on the back bumper of that race car, currently in that second place position. Two Toyotas carry the torch right now. Third car in line going to be the first Mustang, or excuse me, that fourth place position. That's going to be Cody Dow. And then you have another Ford. That's going to be Blair Patterson, up 8 positions from where he started. That's going to round out the top 5. You see that 10 machine trying to work the high side of the racetrack. Is going to have Blair Patterson come up there and support the cause on the high side of the racetrack as they try to mount a charge here to see if they can challenge the 23 of Veldhusen. And in fact, the leader currently enjoying almost a 20-second advantage right now over the rest of the competition. Green flag pit stops will certainly do that. As you can see, he's alone in his own zip code right now. Looks like he is on a drive on the Sunday afternoon side of things as you see him pull down off the racetrack, as this should be his final scheduled pit stop. This is the money stop. You can't have any mistakes here. He gets that car woed down hard on the binders there. You don't see him lock the tires up as now he has his pit box in his sights. We'll follow their leader, Dustin, in that Chevrolet Camaro to his pit stall. Don't want any mistakes here. Gets it woed up inside the box. To Kansas Sunoco Racing Fuel gonna be the call here. You see that jack going up, those Dr. Feel Bads being replaced with some Dr. Feel Goods. Waiting on the drop of the jack, he's gonna grab a gear, down and away. Change for the lead out on the racetrack. Morris now is gonna take over the torch, and here we go. It's a 4-way battle, Noah's Ark situation here for the lead. You have the 18 machine of Morris. Also working the bottom side of the racetrack is going to be Keith Hume in the 4. In fact, let's go on board with the driver of that number 4 machine. See how he gets around this racetrack. Big run from the high side there. You see them able to clear. Get down to the bottom. So currently on board with Morris. See just how close quarters action. Ooh, big time. That could have been a big time problem there as multiple cars coming off of pit road, getting up to speed there. Moore's going to try to work the high side of the racetrack, currently following that 10 machine of Cody Dowell. As he now closes in on the bumper of that Dark Horse Mustang. This all at speeds of over 180 miles an hour. You can see how much wheel input he's having to throw into that race car. As this track races like it's a super speedway, however, probably the most tumultuous on those tires, as it can be certainly a cheese grater at times, especially when that track temperature is cooked up to the spicy side of things. As Morris now runs in that third place position. Go ahead and widen things. Oh, we got problems. The 10 goes around as he gets hit on the business side of things. More cars in the wall, and that's going to throw out a late race caution. And those close quarters, racing like that, certainly here at Atlanta late when everyone's giving it everything they can, under 20 laps to go, spells disaster on the racetrack, and this changes everything. In fact, as Larry McReynolds has his McNuggets, his notes, crumple those up, throw them out the window. This is going to turn this race completely upside down. It's going to re-rack and restack all the lead lap cars. In fact, everybody all on top of each other. And we're going to gruel it out here to the finish. Let's go back to the GRN instant replay and see what went wrong. In fact, let's go it up to the eye in the sky here. See what the chopper picked up. Going to go ahead, slow things down, and roll playback. You see the 16 there. It's going to all result of a bad push here. You cannot push there. That will instantaneously spin that back end and kick the back of that race car out as he gets turned, literally, the 16 into the driver's side door. They're going to wad up the racetrack. You see the 16, the left side of that race car come up. Then the 18 is going to absolutely send it in there like a howitzer and make contact with the 91 as the 10 spins helplessly down the racetrack, locks all four of those tires up hard on the binders, does not make contact with that inside safer barrier. But that's how quick it goes from good to bad here at Atlanta. Let's go ahead and get another angle of this incident late here in the race. Blair Patterson also involved in this one as well. Let's go on board with the driver of the 91. You can see already here, he turns that race car down the racetrack. Hard impact from that driver's side door. That's going to joust him up the racetrack. He clobbers the fence so hard, he's going to get two tires up in the air. As he does the slide for life up against the catch fence. You see those roof flaps coming up, keeping that race car down onto the racetrack. That is by design. As you can see, that 10 machine off in the distance, down onto the flatlands. As Blair Patterson, top shelf for Mama hides the cookies, facing in the wrong direction here. This all happening with just 18 laps to go in the main event here tonight in primetime. To now go back to the live side of things, just 16 laps now remaining. That iRacing.com pace car currently leads the field. As we reshuffle the deck. The 43 of Keys is going to have the button as he is your leader. Morris in P2, he's going to restart on the outside of row number 1. Mullins going to lead the charge in row 2 on the inside lane. Outside of him, the 23 of Veldhuizen, excuse me. Running out your top 5 is going to be Keith Hume in that 4 machine. So those lights are out on that iRacing.com pace car, which means we're going back to the green flag side of things this time by. This race is going to turn into a Friday night short track showdown with under 20 laps remaining. That iRacing.com pace car pulls down pit road. That's going to give the 43 the button, and he's going to let it rip. Tater chip, green flag back in the air. Those glorious V8s come roaring back to life here in the ATL. As we climb up through the H pattern one more time, going through the turns 1 and 2 complex. We're going to throw the onboard telemetry of your leader up on the screen so you can follow along as he gets that Toyota back up to speed. In fact, in the words of TRD, let's go places. That's exactly what Keys is doing as he's taking that 43 to the front. Ford Toyota, the first Chevrolet is going to be Dustin in that 5th place position, up 12 spots from where he started. Biggest mover of the race, but we're going to keep this focused on the battle for the win and for the lead. You got a 2-car breakaway right now, but that might not be enough as we got big time momentum rolling on the high side of the racetrack, being led by the 18 of Morris. Morris, no slouch. He knows how to get around this place. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. And you can see just how fast they are closing. Is now Morris almost at speeds of 180 miles an hour, just shy. 179 firing off into the turns 1 and 2. He's definitely going to be in tow now of that lead pack as they come off the corner and fire down the backstretch. He has given all the Popeyes biscuits to that 18 machine. In fact, that 2-car battle has now become a 4-car battle as they are there. There's a 4. Hume peeks to the inside. Tries to fake out the 18 of Dahl. Got to be careful getting down off the racetrack. That's a big-time banking, going from the flat to the banking here. That'll really upset the balance of this race car as we start to do the jig, the Indy Snake. His time is running out. Logan Keys doing a masterful job thus far, not letting Mullis intimidate him, get inside the head of the driver of that race car. If I'm piloting that machine right now, I'm grabbing that rear view mirror, throwing it out the window. I don't even want to be tempted to look behind me. As the driver, do your job, stay focused, stay on top of things, keep your head out the window, and let the spotter, the crew chief, do their job and let you know where the competition is and where they're going to attack you from out there on the racetrack. As we now go on board with Keys, we're going to turn it around to the bumper cam, looking out the back of that race car, and you can see that Toyota Supra, that BMW poised as a Toyota lurking. Morris now closes in within a couple of inches. Great looking paint scheme on that 18 tonight. Morris does have help. Keith Hume there as well, working the bottom of the racetrack. Just 9 laps to go. You see the 11 doing the right thing there. That's Kramer getting out of the raid. Does not want to affect the outcome of this race. In fact, he got a little slideways there on the apron. We fan out, this track is wide and you can utilize all the real estate that this racetrack has to offer as we stay single file, but that Hornet's Nest now brewing around that 5th place position. That's going to be Jason Mullis in that 51. They try to get some big time momentum dialed up on the high side of the racetrack. That 45 is going to have to go with him though and stay committed. That is Toby Keys. Almost contact there. How did they save it? 45, that Camaro is just a little bit loose on the high side of the racetrack. They see the run coming. The 4 is going to come up to block, and that's going to put the 51 in the fence. Oh, another big-time hit up to the 51 administers. That self-inflicted concrete poisoning. That is not going to help anyone around that 4th, 5th, 6th place position, as these guys are going to have to work together if they want to mount a charge to go up there and challenge Keys for the win. As time continues to tick, 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 6 street laps being written in the history books, only 5 to go, this time by at the line. Let's jump on board trench warfare style with Mullis. This guy has been pulling out all the stops, doing it over the top in that second lane. Working there with the 45. However, not sure if Keys, who's multiple laps down, is comfortable with the handling on that race car. You can see it get squirrely loose on entry multiple times there. Mullis going to take it down to the flatlands. Gets a big run here. He's going to get by the 62. Does he make contact with the 10? He does make contact with the 10. He able to hold that car straight. What a piece of driving there by Cody Dowell. Mullis here on a mission. He is rumbling. Takes it back up to the high side of the racetrack as he comes off a 4. These drivers racing their guts out right now. You can see this pit stop strategy, this stint length right now. Keys, Morris, Hume, and Dowell all out there with the same amount of laps on those tires. In fact, the last 2 times they came down pit road, the top 4 came down together at laps 103 and then 14, now 15 laps on these set of Goodyear Eagles. Popsicle sticks in the air, 2 laps remaining. As we have the dial crank all the way up, the excitometer is banging off the rev limiter. James Morris doing one heck of a job being the Iceman. If you want to win here at Atlanta, oh, we got problems. The 10 gets wham, bam, carammed. Goes around. Does that throw the caution flag? No, we're on the final lap. We're going to stay lean and green coming down the backstretch for the final time. We already had carnage kick off here just on back of this battle for the lead. Do we keep it clean the rest of the way? The 4 is there, but he's not going to have time for a run. And dialing it up big time here in prime time. Morris is going to take it to the big house here at Atlanta as he gets the win live on Ghost Racing Network. What a drive from Morris. Those last 16 laps, some of the best I've ever seen as he held off the charge from virtually everyone that challenged to get the win here at Atlanta. Keith Hume's going to come home runner-up, second place finish, while Mullis in the 51 machine is going to round out your podium positions, coming home in third. S'mores now going to celebrate, get the rest of the good out of those Dr. Feelgoods as he burns it down in the grass. Your race-winning moment here. Let's go on board with him as he gets the rest of the good out of that race car. Continues to whip it in the grass. Now he's going to pull it up out of the racetrack, park it right up against the fence. And let's see if he burns these tires down, and he does. You can see the flames shooting out the tailpipes as those Goodyears get lit. I love this camera view when these guys decide to do a burnout there up against the wall. Is James Morris is clutch, winning from the pole. From here at Atlanta, no small feat. That is extremely difficult to do. As we now wait to speak with our top three, give them a chance now to jump into the infield care center. Again, we're looking for Morris, Hume, and Mullis. In fact, I'm going to see if I can drag our winner up here to the booth. Try this one more time. Move to broadcast booth. All right. Different plan of attack. We can't bring him up. Let's just go to him. And I cannot get in the channel that was working earlier in the week when Pat and I tested this. So I do apologize to you folks at home, as I do not have permissions to go into the other drivers' voice chats. However, it was working last week. Hey, Jason, Matt up in the GRN broadcast booth. You got a copy there, bud? Well, hey, man, congratulations. What a dominating performance here tonight at Atlanta. How were you able to put together such a fantastic run and hold off the competition there at the end?
This is third place, right?
It has you listed there as the leader there, boss.
Oh, does it?
You know what? I apologize. I'm still learning your names, Morris and Mullis, or Mullis. Third place finish here tonight. Still a great performance. Third place finish. Describe your run for me tonight. How were you able to come home with a podium position when all was said and done?
Oh gosh, it was a lot of wrecks and stuff, just survival, and just got too much damage to really challenge for anything, to be honest.
You know, that's part of the process here when you're plate track racing. I know Atlanta's kind of a hybrid. It has the soul of a super speedway. I mean, even with the damage on that race car, you were still able to put together very competitive lap times. Is there anything possibly you could have did different there to challenge Morris for the win?
No, I mean, I was basically stuck in line up until I was getting knocked up into the wall there. When I was leaning the outside line, I might have had a chance, but once it started getting put in the wall and stuff, it was pretty much done.
Yeah, well said. And like I said, you put on a heck of a drive. You were fun to watch up here in the Tony Trapasso Memorial booth. Before we cut you loose, man, anyone you want to thank who helps you get it done on the 51?
Well, Pat for sharing the setup, so that was nice of him to do. And no, not really.
Well, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Damaged race car, no problem. Is Mullis put on a performance worthy of the highlight reel? He's getting into the fence, beating and banging out there with a thrilling finish here tonight in primetime. That is the driver of the 51. Jason Mullis comes home third here tonight. Thanks for joining me up here in the booth, bud.
No problem.
Again, great performance tonight from Jason Mullis in that 51 machine. Want to thank him for taking some time post-race to join us up here in the broadcast booth. See if I'm able to jump in here one more time into Grayson Racing. And it doesn't seem like I just have the permissions to do that. Yeah, for whatever reason, I am just locked out of that channel. See if we can jump into Band of Misfits.
Who said that was, okay?
They're clearly having a post-race meeting there, so didn't want to disrupt the flow of their conversation. So with that being said, let's go ahead and go over the final results here from Atlanta. Let's go ahead and get those up on the screen for everyone at home. And we'll get the tower out of the way for you guys. Again, James A. Morris with a clutch, stunning performance here in overtime. A drive of the ages in that 18 machine, able to hold off a fierce charge from the rest of the competition. You're going to get the big-time W here at Atlanta. Keith Hume in that 4 machine comes home second. You heard from the third-place finisher, Jason Mullis, there in the 51. Logan Keys in the 43 is going to come home fourth. Well, rounding out your top 5, that's going to be Dustin Veldhusen in the 23 machine. Cody Dell, Parker, Jason Chilton, Doc Strout, and GT Rosari round out your top 10. Toby Keys, Barry Kramer, Blair Patterson, Samuel Bolin, and Bailey Dutton. That's your top 15. Todd Cray is going to come home in that 16th place position. Well, crossing that finish line in 17th, that's going to be David Kamara, Justin Lear Pearson. That's going to round out your top 18. And I believe we're missing one more driver there in that graphic. We flip the results here. And that's going to do it. Justin Lee Pearson starting going to round out that 18th place position. Here is 19 drivers who took the initial green flag here tonight live in primetime. Want to remind everyone to join the best racing family in the esports iRacing network right here on GRN. Live, high-flying in primetime with 6 nights of high-flying, high-octane racing action. Smash the like button, ring the bell, get notified each and every time GRN is live on the airwaves so you can join along at home for all the racing action on Ghost Racing Network. And like all good things must come to an end, including this broadcast, I want to thank all the sponsors, providers, all the men and women behind the scenes that make this league and production possible. Without you guys, it certainly could not be done, and we thank you for the time and dedication to this league. And as the late, great Tony Trapasso used to say, as you walk down the road of life this week, do us all a flavor. Do not play in traffic. And we'll catch you next time right here on